Hello friends, my name is Laura Rizak and I'm the Associate Rector at St. Stephen's Episcopal Church in Charleston, South Carolina. And I'm glad to be with you today for our Lenten candle devotions here in this fourth week in Lent. So if you have your candle set, you can go ahead and have it out with me if you wanted to follow along with your devotions. If you don't have a candle set this year, I'm still so glad that you're here to worship with us today in this way. So here in the fourth week, we have our 6 purple candles. 3 of them are not going to be lit. 3 of them will be lit, and our white candle is still burning. All right, 4th Sunday in Lent. Before Jesus was born, God had a special relationship with the Hebrew people. The priests taught the people that if they offered sacrifices to God from a heart of worship, a heart that desired a relationship with God, they could renew their friendship with God. But often, people did not rely on God. Some of them did not follow the ways of sacrifice and worship. And there was an even deeper problem. Many may have followed the outward ritual, but they didn't trust God in their hearts. They didn't love God, and they didn't live lives that reflected God's glory. A reading from the prophet Isaiah. Shout out, do not hold back. Lift up your voice like a trumpet. Announce to my people their rebellion, to the house of Jacob their sins. Yet day after day they seek me and delight to know my ways, as if they were a nation that practiced righteousness and did not forsake the ordinance of their God. They ask of me righteous judgments. They delight to draw near to God. Why do we fast, but you do not see? Why humble ourselves, but you do not notice? Look, you serve your own interest on your fast day and oppress all your workers. Look, you fast only to quarrel and to fight and to strike with a wicked fist. Such fasting as you do today will not make your voice heard on high. Is such the fast that I choose, a day to humble oneself? Is it to bow down the head like a bulrush, to lie in sackcloth and ashes? Will you call this a fast, a day acceptable to the Lord? Is this not the fast that I choose? To loose the bonds of injustice, to undo the thongs of the yoke, to let the oppressed go free, and to break every yoke? Is it not to share your bread with the hungry and bring the homeless poor into your house? When you see the naked, to cover them, and not to hide yourself from your own kin. Then shall your light break forth like the dawn, and your healing shall spring up quickly. Your vindicator shall go before you. The glory of the Lord shall be your rear guard. Then you shall call, and the Lord will answer. You shall cry for help, and God will say, here I am. If you remove the yoke from among you, the pointing of the finger, the speaking of evil, if you offer your food to the hungry and satisfy the needs of the afflicted, then your light shall rise in the darkness, and your gloom be like the noonday. The Lord will guide you continually and satisfy your needs in parched places and make your bones strong. And you shall be like a watered garden, like a spring of water, whose waters never fail. Your ancient ruins shall be rebuilt. You shall raise up the foundations of many generations. You shall be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of streets to live in. Often in Lent, we think about what we're going to give up, self-denial, self-sacrifice. And some of that, if we're not careful, can become just obligatory or rooted in shame, or even performative. And none of those are going to help us draw closer to God. This is what I think Isaiah is pointing out. Don't just, do the outward motions and then, in the next breath, be oppressing your workers and hurting people around you. If you want to fast, do a fast for justice. That is there some kind of sacrifice that you can make that's going to help promote justice in the world? I confess to my community that I'm filming these in advance, these weekly videos, just to help streamline things, make sure things that get posted on time during Lent. So I'm filming this in advance, and I'm thinking about right now when it says the ancient ruins being rebuilt, being the repairer of the breach, the restorer of streets to live in. I'm thinking about what's happening in Ukraine. And I hope by the 4th week of Lent, this won't be happening. And I fear that it very well might be. And so I'm wondering in this Lenten season, is there something that donating money, making a sacrificial donation to ERD, for example, for the work of supporting Ukrainian refugees. We don't know yet if gas prices are going to really increase, but I wonder if they do increase, if we can think about that as this is a type of Lenten sacrifice made for the cause of sanctions and justice. Even not thinking about that international conflict, is there something that we could do right here in our own backyard, something that you are called to do right now for the cause of justice that could be a Lenten discipline? Maybe getting further involved with our Charleston area justice ministry, or something else that strikes you, that you see, that you feel called to get involved with, not because it's performative or it's going to get us likes on social media or anything like that, but some real kind of contribution that could be made. Maybe that could be a good Lenten discipline, a good life discipline for us all. Thank you for joining me for this 4th week in Lent, and I'll see you soon.